How's it going, everybody? Welcome to FoundFlix and happy Halloween! On this special Ending Explained, we're going to be checking out the classic Night of the Demons, which is absolutely perfect for the spooky season. When I started doing this video, I asked myself, why do I love this movie so much? I've been watching it since all the way back to my childhood. Perhaps what first drew me to it is the cover itself. The 80s were well known for creating striking artwork in order to stand out on video store shelves to entice viewers to rent them. The Night of the Demons cover is truly iconic, and love that tagline. Too scary for Jason and Freddy? Uh-oh. You do gotta be careful though, because a lot of times a movie would have some sick ass cover art and then it never even happens in the movie. You're like, you tricked me, dude. Fortunately, that is not the case with Night of the Demons. While it might have been the art that first lured me in, the movie itself is everything that I look for in a good Halloween party kind of movie. Of course, it's from the 80s, so it has its own particular style and flavor because of this. Love 80s horror movies. It's also just kind of weird and has some honestly bizarre moments. It's also funny in a corny kind of way and has lots of memorable characters, the most prominent being Angela herself, and Emilia Kincaid has created an underrated horror icon with her role in this and its two sequels. What it really is a lot of fun. No, it's not really scary. It's more like a roller coaster haunted house experience. It's just a blast. So let's check out Night of the Demons, breaking down the story, what we learned about the entity living in the house, as well as explaining the ending. The tone is set with an animated opening credit sequence, which is so very 80s. Always know you're in for a good time with these. Well, it's lightly animated to be fair, just ghost dudes kind of wavering around for the most part. And if you want to know why the makeup and special effects are so great, it's thanks to the legendary Steve Johnson and his crew. If you're not familiar, Steve worked on a ton of excellent special effects laden flicks, including working with Rick Baker for American Werewolf in London, as well as creating Slimer and the Librarian Ghost for Ghostbusters. Pretty much a legend, and his work here is no different. The other notable name that I have to point out for cult fanatics is the one and only Linnea Quigley, who was a queen of B horror movies for a long time. Her role here as Suzanne and Trash in Return of the Living Dead are perhaps her most well-known parts. Any B-movie fan needs to know Linnea. Our story unfolds in any town in America on the spookiest night of the year. One part of our hapless group of partygoers, Stooge, Roger, and Helen, are rocking and rolling through the town. Stooge finishes chugging a beer, declaring trick or treat before tossing it out the window. When they happen upon an old man, or old fat ass as they say, there is only one thing to be done. Give him a full mooning on the way by. The curmudgeonly old man is less than impressed with the children's behavior, cursing them as stupid bastards. It then feels as though someone is watching him from behind a car across the street. A shaky POV rapidly approaches and holds up a plastic rat, startling the old man again. It's another kid, Sal, who thinks it's just a funny prank, cackling, "You don't want to blow your pacemaker, old man." He's really having a startle-filled evening as a hand is plopped on his shoulder, causing him to freak once more. This time it's our hero, Judy, offering to help with his groceries that he dropped, but the old man hates these pesky kids too much, shooing her away. As he digs through his groceries, he vows that they will all get what they deserve, holding up an apple along with razor blades. Wonder what he's got in mind. Judy heads home to get ready for a school dance, but a call from her boyfriend changes their plans. Jay has a better party in mind, as the school dance, he says, is for nerds. As for who's throwing it, he mentions Angela, which Judy only knows as the weirdo from one of her classes. She's supposedly into witchcraft and all kinds of other spooky stuff. Jay thinks that's just a bunch of crap she does for attention. And with airtight logic, he thinks that if she is into that stuff, she would technically throw the best Halloween party ever, right? It's like Christmas for her. Well, can't argue with that. Even if it is being held at the mysterious Hull House, the mere mention of which frightens Judy. Jay tells her he'll be there in 20 and hangs up. Yeah, he's a real prize so far. Judy has another unwelcome visitor, her younger brother Billy, who pops out of the closet scaring her. To make things extra awkward, he goes on to compliment his sister's massive knockers, and Judy angrily kicks him out. Bobby goes to answer the door, but strangely finds no one there. He turns to a nearby door, slowly creaking it open. In yet another scare surprise, Sal pops out in search of Judy. Bobby razzes him and refuses to go get his sister. Sal grows annoyed and plays his big hand, a quarter, to loosen his lips. Bobby refuses until he ups the ante to $1, and the boy reveals where they're off to for the evening. Sal is shocked to hear it's at Hull House, thinking Judy would never go to a place like that, unless she's being forced by her dick boyfriend Jay. From here, we abruptly cut to an upskirt of Suzanne at a convenience store. It's all an act to distract the slack-jawed gas jockeys so Angela can steal some goodies for the party. They're not even subtle about it at all, her with a massive bag and everything that she just keeps stuffing with more crap. Suzanne's crotch has hypnotized the boys, allowing Ange to walk right out of the store with their stolen booty. The heist complete, Suzanne takes her leave, asking the guys if they have sour balls. Sure they do, they respond. Well, that must be why you don't get many blowjobs, Susie laughs. In the parking lot, they are proud of the haul, and Susie pulls out a compact. Angela finds her vanity annoying, but Suze argues that she's gotta look good for the cute boys. There will be cute boys at the party, right? Oh yes, Angela sneers, and we're gonna scare the shit out of them. Judy is ready to roll out in her Alice in Wonderland getup, while downstairs Jay is having to tend with her family all on his own. In particular, her mom's quite questionable looking fudge logs. Jay politely turns them down, and as Bobby points out, no one wants your sun-dried turds, Ma. He is curious too, just why is he dating his sister? For her personality or her big cha-chas? Oh geez, this kid needs to learn some boundaries. He's even talking like that in front of his mom. The couple head out and Judy is embarrassed by her mom's cooking. Jay doesn't mind and goes for a big kiss. She is hesitant, asking him to just take it slow. Meanwhile, Stooge and the others are trying to find their way to Hull House. Helen gives him crap for being lost and Stooge snatches the map away. Remember using a map to get to places? Of course not, none of you were alive then. Right here, he yowls and grabs a wheel, sending them spiraling all over the road out of control. This leads to a blowout, stranding them on the side of the road. The rest of the crew, now also including their other buddies Max and Franny, happen upon them. Max asks if they need a hand and gives them a hearty clap as they drive off. They arrive at the massive derelict Hull House, learning that it used to be a big funeral parlor. Rumor has it that Old Man Hull really loved his clients, as in a carnal sense, gross. Franny has heard stories too, such as the Hull family were all gruesomely murdered, on Halloween in fact. They never could figure out who did it, because there was just too much blood and guts to even ID the bodies. Somehow this gets her excited, squeaking she can't believe they're gonna party here. Seeing the place and that no one else is here, Judy feels differently. Hey, maybe they can still make the dance. But the others are more interested in some potential real spooks. Max uses a stethoscope to listen to a boundary wall and calls Judy over. It's water, she hears, learning that there is an underground stream there. It supposedly goes through the entire property, with the wall built right on top of the body of water. To keep people out, I'd imagine, or as the legend says, demons are unable to cross the running water. The group enter Hull House, impressed by just how dirty and dusty it is in here. They happen upon a casket, and hearing the others approaching, Jay has a swell idea for a prank. He's gonna hide in the coffin and give them a big fright. He opens it up and gets a fright first, courtesy of Sal. Jay loses it on him for scaring him, but as Judy notes, he was literally just about to do the same thing himself. Double standard much? The others are annoyed to see Sal, dubbing him Count Dingleberry the Flaming Asshole of Transylvania. Whatever that means, they didn't know he was invited, and Angela appears, confirming that he was not. The rest of the group also show up, and it's finally time to party down! Suzanne can't help but demonstrate her hypersexual nature, fanning her private bits on the raging fire, groaning, "That's just what the doctor ordered." A strobe light goes off, and everyone gets down and funky. Before too long, Suzanne sets her sights on Jay and easily lures him away. I had a feeling this guy sucked, but yeah, that's pretty bad. Not even like, "Oh hey Judy, I'll catch up with you later," or anything. Just, "Later, loser." Literally, yeah, he doesn't even say that. He just is like, "Doot, doot, doot." The music abruptly cuts off, and Stooge cries that he can't live without his tunes. In lieu of music, Angela suggests they try out a party game, something along the lines of a seance. Perfect for Halloween. Helen thinks that's a terrible idea, especially tonight. They have no idea what they could possibly drag up. Franny has a slightly safer idea, a past lives seance where they look into a mirror and see their past lives. Too bad they don't have a mirror big enough for all of them. Stooge takes himself, along with a sheepish Roger, to track one down. Moments after they leave, there's a blood-curdling scream, and Raj cowardly runs back. Stooge is right behind him, happily informing them that he's found a big old mirror. They all sit in formation, and Angela explains how it works. Keep staring at your own reflection. The reflection will turn black, and when the blackness subsides, you will see your past life before you. They all stare intently, and indeed, the glass starts to swirl with darkness. Someone shouts in shock that it actually is working, which breaks the spell. Angela scorns him for messing everything up, but it looks like they already brought back something, seeing some kind of crazy looking monster head in the reflection. Helen turns back to the mirror and sees what looks like herself being slammed in the reflection. She shrieks and everyone backs up, causing the mirror to shatter to the ground. Well, that's probably not good. Opening the gateway to some kind of demon dude's house and breaking the vessel used to summon it. Teens, you know. The gang is bummed that the game is over, still not believing anything truly spooky is afoot here. However, they start hearing strange sounds, which Judy determines are coming from the basement. We then float down down through the floors into a furnace room, and a massive door is blown open, unleashing the beast from the mirror. We follow his POV flying through the house, grunting through the dark halls, and goes right up to inspect the children. They all notice a foul smell related to the demon's presence, joking that Stooge must be wearing his mom's undies again. Suzanne is back to her compact and suddenly gets frozen in place. The fire rages briefly, and Suzanne appears to have become possessed by the demon, looking out of sorts. The smell subsides, and Angela points out that they all heard the noises and smelled the odor, all surefire signs of a demon infestation. The others all still argue that it's just Angela trying to put the oogie boogie on them. The only believer amongst the bunch is Roger, as his dad was a preacher, and he fully thinks that this is a house of the dead. He's getting out of here immediately. Then there's another smell, this one reminding them of roses. As such, they think there must be multiple ghosts here. Angela clarifies an important distinction. The house isn't haunted, the house itself is possessed. Haunted houses have the spirits of those who died within them, while the spirits in a possessed house were never human, rather entities of pure evil. Yep, demons. Judy sides with Roger, and the others just want to party. Eat a bowl of fuck, Stooge snorts. Suzanne agrees, just because one loser wants to leave, there's no need to kill the party. The only problem is they need a car, and evil Susie happily lends them Angela's keys. The others decide to split up and check out the rest of the house, and Suzanne leaves in search of the bathroom. Sal offers his services to protect her, but she's more interested in Stooge. Sal is disgusted. He's a big fat pig, you know. Suzanne smirks that, well, maybe she's in the mood for pork tonight. Shockingly, Susie struts right up to Angela and gives her a big kiss, the boys looking on with a mix of confusion and intrigue. The fire roars again, and we now get that means Susie has spread the evil into Angela. The pair scours through the house's many doors for the bathroom. Somehow, Suzanne knows exactly the right one to Stooge's confusion. She slams the door behind her, and Stooge is let down, thinking they were gonna go in together. Everyone else is gathered around in a parlor, and Max fills us in further on the cursed history of the land here. Even when white colonizers first settled the lands, they already contained bad juju. For centuries, ancient Indian tribes that lived here would never set foot on the other side of that underground creek. They are doubtful as usual, curious if he asked an old Indian ghost or something for the story. But no, he read it in a book at the library, you idiots. There's a lot of tragedy that has happened on these grounds over the years. For example, a young brave that settled here by mistake. He was found 3 weeks later, sitting under a teepee made of his family's intestines and was munching on his child's leg. Judy is grossed out, and Jay thinks it's a perfect time to do some exploring of their own. Alone, he goes to make his big move, grabbing her tit. Somehow this doesn't succeed, and she shuts him down for the place being too creepy. She just wants him to hold her for now. Outside, Raj and Helen are traversing the perimeter wall of the estate trying to find the entry gate. Raj knows that there was one, but it seems to have disappeared. Yep, you guys are trapped. Helen is fed up. They've already been around the wall twice, and there was no gate of any kind. She actually has her own theory about what's going on here. They're all already dead, and this is hell. Raj snarks back, "Hell my ass," and gets back to looking. Yet when he turns back again, Helen has vanished, just like the gate. This is followed by a creepy, echoey voice chanting his name, and a gruff male joins in, taunting him. He hoofs it to the car and locks all the doors. Well, better outside than inside for sure. Jay shows he really has a one-track mind, still trying to get his Mac on. She pumps the brake, and he shows he really is the a-hole I always thought he was. Basically, he heard that she slept with Sal when they briefly dated. That's not the case, despite the rumors, and with this news, he still makes another attempt. Judy shoves him off the table, and knowing that she won't put out, he bails on her. Thanks, Jay. Pretty cool dude. Judy tries the door, but finds that it's stuck, effectively trapping her in the room. Thanks again, Jay. Jeez. Suzanne is still in the bathroom, and Stooge pounds on the door, wondering if she fell in the toilet or what. We see that she's not looking so well, and her skin begins to morph, eventually becoming more crone-like in appearance. Stooge hears a window shatter and buzzes his way inside, only to find the room now empty. Angela then starts acting strangely, croaking that the Day of Atonement is at hand for all sinners. She falls to the floor and starts seductively caressing all over her body. She begins spinning wildly, panting and moaning. She collapses and begins writhing on all fours. A song by the industrial music legends Bauhaus kicks itself on the radio, a droning, scratchy track that really elevates what becomes a signature moment of the entire movie, Angela's manic crazy dance. It's almost like a performance dance routine, and it really is quite impressive in a way. However, Sal is not exactly impressed. The strobe flickers back on, adding another layer of creepiness to everything going on here. The squeaking guitar continues as Angela gets more and more animated. Sal is significantly weirded out and slowly backs his way out of the room. He's like, good luck with that. He bumps right into Stooge, warning him that Angela is acting strangely. Stooge, with sage-like wisdom, tells him it's not the weird girls you have to worry about, and strolls confidently right up to Angela, asking if she comes here often. Smooth, daddy-o. They get in position for for a nice slow dance, and Angela says in a sultry tone she never realized just how sexy he is. She asks him to give her a kiss, and he is more than happy to oblige. Things quickly get alarming as she grabs hold of his head, not letting go, hearing weird squelching sounds. She then lets him loose and has torn his tongue clean off. She stares with eerie yellow eyes, munching down on the flesh, and happily spits a piece at him, showing off a blood-stained smile. Iconic moment too. Sal encounters Suzanne with lipstick marked into a heart shape on her face. He assumes that she's all crazied up too, and she attempts to have her way with him. He's had enough, saying that he's going home. She tells him he is home, and he disagrees. Enjoy the lipstick, doll face, he tells her before leaving. Max and Franny are in another room, and neither has made it in a coffin before. No time like the present, right? Meanwhile, Susie takes her lipstick tube, marking all the way down her chest, then around her breast in a circular pattern. She stuffs the lipstick right into her nipple, shoving it in there real good. Okay then, definitely the weirdest practical gag in the whole movie. In contrast to Sal, who refused her advances, Jay isn't as strong-willed, even with the makeup, which he says isn't a bad paint job, and she goes right for his crotch without saying a word. Jay is down to clown. Sal, downstairs, tells Angela that he's out of here, and she shows off her burning hands that she's had warming in the fire. He tries the front door, but it's sealed shut. No getting out of Hull House tonight. Outside, Raj is passed out in the car until it starts violently rumbling. He assumes it is Stooge, as he's the only fat slob here that can shake the car so much. Getting no response, he cautiously peers through the windshield. From above, a body plummets down, which we realize is Helen's, looking just like what she saw in the mirror earlier smashed on the glass. Jay and Suzanne get down to business, and Suzanne can't help but turn back to appearance, asking in concern, what is he looking at? Jay says that she looks fine, and Suzanne leans her head back, transforming into a demonic appearance. She growls to stop looking at her, and plunges her thumbs deep into his eye socket, spilling a copious amount of goo. Yeah, me. Too bad you can't see it, because YouTube sucks. Franny and Max are mid-coffin coitus and get interrupted by Demon Stooge. He snaps Franny's neck and slams the coffin lid repeatedly on Max's arm until he smashes it clean off. Raj makes it back inside and runs into Sal, knowing that Angela is definitely up to something weird. They approach a corner and Angela appears, slinking by down the hall. Stooge then goes for Judy, rattling at the doorknob. She assumes that it's Jay, pleading to let her out. He loses interest quickly and moves on to the others nearby. Raj is still losing his mind, thinking there's no way they're gonna make it, and Sal comforts him to shut up or he's gonna punch him out. Wow, thanks, I feel a lot better now. They bust Judy out of the room, and Angela comes floating down the hall towards them, looking quite grotesque and spooky. Judy falls and is too scared to move, forcing Sal to drag her away. They hide in another room, which happens to be where Suzanne is chilling with Jay's body. She inquires if they would like to have an orgy. Sal barks for Judy to run, and Suzanne lunges at her. He tries to play the hero, but gets bitch slapped by Susie, sending him flying out the window. Hilarious. Judy makes a break for it, Susie mockingly calling after, "Run, Judy, run!" All the doors around her start slamming closed, leaving her with nowhere to go. She makes it to where Max and Franny were, encountering his arm still on the ground. It surprisingly comes to life, flying through the air and grabbing at her leg. She kicks it off, and Max and Franny emerge from the coffin groaning at her. She tries the front door again to no avail, sending her right back upstairs. Sal now gets why there are no boards on the windows. You can't get out of here no matter what. Judy tiptoes to the darkness, hearing footsteps approaching. It's Roger on the other side of a door. She rushes to him, and Stooge pops up, sending her fleeing, only to run right into Susie, sending her fleeing once more. She makes it to the dusty attic, and Stooge blocks her way out. Raj calls for her from down below. Angela pops up, asking if she's enjoying the view, and goes for her throat. Sal steps in to try to save the day again, and Judy is shoved away, leaving her dangling off the side of the roof. Sal and Angela end up both careening over the side, tumbling to the ground. Raj guides Judy across the roof to hopefully get her to safety. She takes her sweet ass time, and another attack from Stooge causes her to lose her grip. Luckily, she lands right on Roger to soften her fall. Thanks, bud. Angela is waiting there for them, and cackles that Sal decided to stick around, seeing that he got impaled and already has a gravestone. The date of his death? Tonight! Quick work. They're forced back into the house, with Angela purposefully chasing them down. They make it into the basement and are given a moment to catch their breath. They can't help but laugh at the insanity of this situation, which soon turns into tears for Raj. She assures him that they are gonna make it. I mean, you already saved your life once, that has to mean something, right? She finds a door, what looks like an incinerator from the house's funeral home days, also where the demon came out of initially, thinking that maybe that could be a way out. They better figure out something fast, hearing Stooge and Angela banging on the door for them. Or rather, as we learn, they only want Judy for some reason. He retorts to go to hell, and Angela chuckles back, "Not tonight, my dear boy." They have something special planned for them. So much pain, so much sorrow. What they said about not tonight reminds Judy of what Helen mentioned earlier about Halloween Halloween specifically. So perhaps all they have to do is just wait out the night until morning comes. They won't last down here though, as the ghoulies are about to bust in. Judy pries off a gas line with some effort, shooting the gas all over the place. Stooge shoves the door down, running for her. She gets the pipe lit, creating a makeshift flamethrower, unleashing it upon the demons. She can't get it to stop, asking Raj for help, and he finally gets the courage to move and shut off the valve. Let's go, Roger! They escape the basement, only to have all the doors start slamming shut again through the entire house. Man, it really doesn't want them to leave. They're back at the still jammed front door, and Raj is losing hope that they will ever get out. Judy bends down, revealing Demon Jay right behind her. He groans to them, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" And Angela jokes, "What's the matter? Don't you like your blind date?" You know, since his eyes were gouged out. In the main parlor, the entire gang of demons surround them, blocking them from every direction. Raj declares, "You won't get me," and leaps right out the window. Well, now that's being proactive. She follows after, and they know they still gotta get over that wall and that pesky underground stream. As there is still no sign of the gate, the only way up is via a dangling hard wire. They aren't so sure at first, but hearing the demons calling for Roger gives them the proper motivation to climb up, however painful. He reaches down for Judy while she slowly makes her way up. She gets to him just as Stooge grabs hold of her leg, causing her flesh to sizzle, and the rest of the others join the fun. Angela's curious, where are they going? The party has just begun. Raj loses his grip and falls over the other side. The others all descend upon Judy, who is screaming her head off and doing her best to hang on. She shouts for Raj, but there's no sign of him. You're like, "Come on, dude, don't be a coward, time to step up." Fortunately, he makes a heroic return, grabbing her hand. "Climb, girl," he shouts. They reach the top, seeing that dawn is nearly here. As the sun crests the horizon, a dark green smoke billows in and takes out all of their possessed pals. Wind howls, and the big monster head appears in the sky, growling and roaring in annoyance. "You guys totally ruined my Halloween." It starts yellowing and is sucked away into oblivion, at least for now. The survivors shuffle through their small town streets looking absolutely shaken up. They happen to pass by the same crusty old man from the beginning, who scorns them for staying out all night, certain that all the lousy kids in the world will rot in hell. He's a bundle of fun. He sits down for breakfast, and his wife cheerily wishes him a good morning. "What's so good about it?" he grumbles, as she hands him a piece of pie. He takes a bite and she asks how it is, him glumly shrugging, okay. She's sorry to hear it, as he used to love her homemade pies. "Homemade?" he asks with grave concern. Yep, since there weren't too many trick-or-treaters, she had to do something with all those apples he bought. As we saw in the opening, he had a dastardly plan to get back at those stupid kids. The classic urban legend of apples with razors lodged inside. And that trick got turned against him. A razor gets lodged in his throat and tears his neck to absolute shreds, spilling blood everywhere. Another one of the unrated shots. I remember that being like, whoa, that's a lot more blood than I remembered. His wife isn't exactly too disturbed at the gory sight, wishing him a hearty, happy Halloween. Well, for now, the doors of Hull House have closed, but that's not the end, as Angela returns with more spooky shenanigans in Night of the Demons 2 and 3. Yes, Amelia Kincaid reprises her role throughout the entire trilogy, luckily. The other two are worth checking out if you like the first one. Honestly, I hadn't even seen the third one until it just came out on disc, even earlier this month, I think. Well, that'll do it for this Ending Explained for Night of the Demons. But don't forget, before we go, you can send me requests for any movies or TV shows you'd like to see me explain by sending them my way on any of my social media accounts at FoundFlix. What did you think of Night of the Demons and its ending? What are your go-to Halloween party flicks? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Thanks for watching FoundFlix. See you next time. Happy Halloween, y'all.